Well, I maybe don't have to tell you, a 4.1 magnitude earthquake rattled up the mid-Atlantic yesterday evening. Geologists put the epicenter just out to sea, not far from Dover, Delaware. WJZ is live. Alex Dimitrick with what we're learning about that quake. Alex?
Well, Denise, experts say this earthquake was triggered in bedrock 5 miles below the surface. Maryland's Geological Survey has a seismograph buried at Soldier's Delight. It picked up the quake, but the closest readings came from Delaware.
And if we zoom in, this is your pressure waves coming in, your P waves, and then you start getting some larger waves, which is your surface waves. The time distance between the pressure wave and the surface wave is how we can tell how far away an earthquake is from a station.
At 4:47 p.m. Thursday, a 4.1 magnitude earthquake just off the Delaware coast.
Which is the rock underneath of all the sand on the eastern shore. And those fissures occasionally release some energy, and that's what this was.
Some people in Maryland felt it.
We thought somebody dropped something in the store.
I don't know, it just felt like a train going by, but I know there aren't any trains around here.
Earthquakes are measured on a logarithmic scale. This one, the 2011 quake that shook the mid-Atlantic, was a 5.8 quake that caused damage in Virginia, D.C., and Baltimore. The bigger the number, the greater the energy released.
So a 2 is 10 times more than a 1, a 3 is 100 times more than a 1, and a 4 is 1,000 times more than a 1.
That means the 5.8 in 2011 was 25 times more powerful than Thursday's 4.1, releasing 126 times more energy. Which doesn't mean a 4.1 is considered a little earthquake, at least not on the East Coast.
It's a pretty decent sized quake.
Well, the quake did not cause damage or injuries, but more than 10,000 people along the coast reported to the U.S. Geological Service that they felt it. Vic, back to you.
Okay, thank you very much, Alex. Meteorologist Tim Williams in the First Warning Weather Center to explain why earthquakes like this are rare and that they're different than the ones in California.
Earthquakes like the one many of us felt Thursday are extremely rare along the Northeast corridor, and when they do happen, it's often felt in an area that is more than 10 times larger than on the West Coast. And why is that the case? Well, it's partly because the rock here on the East Coast is colder and more condensed, and this combination allows those waves to travel farther than the ones that happen so frequently in California. The other part about this earthquake that is unusual is that it happened in the middle of the North American plate and not near a known fault line. So the quake may be the result of a slip of a fault line on a dormant plate or a slip of a brand new fault line. I'm meteorologist Tim Williams. Back to you.